Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown, and in today's video, guys, let's go over some news and some notes and what the lineup could possibly look like heading into Game 2 after what happened in Game 1. With this, of course, being the most important of the news, John Tavares has been cleared of all structural damage to his head, neck, and spine, according to Kyle Dubas. But also coming out, we're hearing that John Tavares sustained a knee injury in the collision with Corey Perry, plus a concussion. He'll be out a minimum of 2 weeks. John, really take as long as you absolutely need to. But don't get me wrong, the team definitely does owe it to him to still be playing 2-3 weeks, a month from now, whenever he's ready to come back. And I just want to preface talking about the lines potentially for Game 2 with just a little bit of love for Nick Foligno. He has been absolutely everything that this team could have hoped and asked for when they initially acquired him. He's a guy that gets it. And even though he may not re-sign here, and he may just be a Toronto Maple Leaf for a cup of coffee or so, he's not leaving anything on the table. He's going to do whatever it takes to help this team out the best way that he possibly can, because that's just the type of guy that he is. And that is absolutely the type of players that this team needs right now. So, in going in and looking at the lines here, I'm interested. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Jack Campbell was absent from practice, but we haven't really gotten a clear indication if that means anything at all. But if there is an update, I will leave it as a pinned comment like I usually do in the videos if there's an update or a correction to be made. In the previous video, I said that the Montreal Canadiens have showed us all the tricks up their sleeve and what they have to offer. And while that is true to a certain degree in the type of style that they want to play, the strategy on how they go about it may vary from game to game, and they showed us something a little bit different in this one. The Canadiens in the past against the Toronto Maple Leafs have been known to use a 1-2-2 neutral zone forecheck to really disrupt the Maple Leafs' breakout. They've also been known to use a 1-4, which is absolutely ridiculous and so passive, but a 1-1-3 is what they showed for a portion of the game Thursday night. And what this 1-1-3 neutral zone forecheck allows you to do is it allows you to use your forward's speed on defense to generate turnovers and really direct traffic. It's a T or a box in the middle of the ice that completely sucks away the entire center of the ice. It forces you to drive wide and go to the boards. And if you noticed on that game on Thursday, Carey Price was very active in picking up the puck behind his net because the Leafs were dumping it in and trying to win it back on the forecheck. And that can work because the Montreal defenders are not necessarily the most mobile players, and they're not necessarily the best at moving the puck, aside from maybe a guy like Jeff Petrie or Shea Weber if he is healthy. If the Leafs want to beat this 1-1-3, like I said, they can either dump the puck in, but that's going to really involve Carey Price in the play, or they can do it with good puck movement and good puck support. And what I mean by that is you need players who can skate with it, and you need guys who can dish it off in the neutral zone. If the Montreal defenders want to direct traffic towards the boards, they need someone hard charging up the center of the ice, because what that's going to do is it's going to give the puck carrier who's being directed towards the boards an option to defer to. And because he's hard charging up the center of the ice there, these three defenders have to respect that speed, and they're going to back up and they're going to give him the blue line. And because the Montreal Canadiens are playing so passively, because they want to implement this type of strategy, look for guys like Morgan Rielly and Rasmus Sandin to be very effective and very aggressive in this series. And my friend Anthony Venna, a referee in the NYHL, I believe, he does some stuff for the Steelheads and stuff like that, watches a ton of hockey, helps me out with this stuff absolutely all the time, and I really do appreciate it. And what he basically said to me is that don't be surprised if you see Alex Galchenyuk or even Pierre Engvall in this lineup for Game 2. Because the best possible way that you can beat any variation of a neutral zone trap is to have good puck movement and good north-south speed. And while Pierre Engvall dies as soon as he crosses the offensive blue line for the most part, he is excellent in his own zone and in the neutral zone. And if Montreal is going to play this passive of a style in Game 2, they may not. They may switch it up. Riley Nash is not necessarily needed. Don't get me wrong. If we get past this series and we play either the Edmonton Oilers or the Winnipeg Jets, the Jets are up 2-0 right now. Riley Nash is going to be instrumental in that series. But with the Montreal Canadiens, we're playing a team that revolves around structure, not necessarily skill first, defense first, or goaltending first. Sure, when you're playing passively, goaltending is really important, and I thought Carey Price was good on Thursday night, but I don't necessarily think that the Maple Leafs made life difficult for him. On the one goal that they did score, they had excellent traffic in front of the net with Nick Foligno, who ended up picking the assist up on that Nylander goal after the fact. And Nylander had an excellent game. He got himself into the areas that he needs to be in order to be effective for the Toronto Maple Leafs here. And it would go a long way if he can have a big game too as well. And even though we're seeing a guy like Alex Kerfoot on the third line playing center on what is clearly the most defensive line for the Toronto Maple Leafs, or the line that probably gets used the most in defensive situations. That third line, because Pierre Engvall is there, because he's another guy who can carry and move the puck, that line can generate offense as well. Ilya Mikheyev creates a ridiculous amount of scoring chances, just can't bury them. Alex Kerfoot, a decent playmaker, needs to play with players who can shoot the puck and get into high offensive areas, because I think he can be more valuable than what we've seen him to be. And Pierre Engvall is a total wild card. Like I said earlier in the video, he dies for the most part as soon as he crosses the offensive blue line. But to close out the year, didn't he have like 2 goals in his last 3 games played or something like that? If Pierre can be the guy that we saw in the first 28 games that he played, I believe last season, that would be a huge help. That'd be a huge help, Pierre. Like, please. I think he had 14 points in his first 28 NHL games. That's on pace for 41 points over an 82-game season. We need that right now. We need that type of scoring depth. The only thing that I may change in this lineup is I might flip Alex Galchenyuk and Zach Hyman. And I mean, look for a bounce-back game from guys like Joe Thornton. Look for Jason Spezza to be moved up and down in the lineup if they need him to. I don't think that Nick Foligno is going to play center on that second line the entire game. If there's an offensive zone draw where that line is coming over the boards and Jason Spezza is fresh, I'd want to see him in that situation. I want to see Jason Spezza play more, but obviously respecting things situationally. But as a group, as a fourth line, gonna need more from you, Simmons. Gonna need more from you, Spezza. Gonna need more from you, Thornton. The 2 offensive zone turnovers from Thornton, the 2 penalties from Spezza. Not really noticing Wayne Simmons a whole ton in the game on Thursday. Gonna need more from you guys collectively as a group. I understand. I said it in my previous video. I had a really hard time caring about the game at all. And those guys were right in the middle of it. When John Tavares was down on the ice, they saw him. They weren't sitting on the bench. They were in the middle of it. So I can understand if it was hard to play. But we're just going to need more in Game 2. And I mean, really, if you want to look at Game 1, it was a pretty even, fair game when you're looking at the advanced analytics. Toronto took 3 over-the-glass delay-of-game penalties. Look for that to never be a thing ever again, because it's what Steve Dangle said over the last years. They can't just lose. They have to reinvent losing. I don't think that's ever happened before. 3 over-the-glass penalties in 1 playoff game. But all things considered, with the weight of what happened on Thursday night, they still only lost 2-1. They still only lost 2-1. If you're looking for any reasons to be down on this team right now, don't be. Because I think they come out absolutely out of a cannon tonight. It's 2 o'clock as I'm filming this right now. I think they come out of a cannon tonight. Let me know down in the comments how many goals do you think Austin Matthews scores in this one, because man, oh man, he was on a mission in Game 1. Just hunting pucks down in the neutral zone, just absolutely letting them bomb from his side of the ice in the offensive zone. He wanted it bad, and he hit the post in that game. The power play, what's wrong with that is very simple. I mean, over the last 2 years, they need someone who can be a shot option or a threat on the opposite side of the ice from Austin Matthews at the other circle. They need that, and they need it desperately, because it is not Mitch Marner, who has 1 power play goal since last February. No, not this past February, the February before that. And I'm not saying to take Mitch off the power play either. No, it's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying you need someone on the opposite side to Matthews. The other team needs to respect their shot. Because if they need to respect their shot, it's going to give the power play all sorts of different looks. So like I said, let me know down in the comments section how many goals do you think Austin Matthews scores tonight and how you guys are feeling. Generally, let me know how you guys are feeling after game one. Not necessarily just about the Maple Leafs. If you got something on your mind, let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to like the video if you did like it and subscribe for more because more is always on the way. And guys, remember, the Leafs are still going to win this series.